Alright, so this will be technically my update from I think 2 or 3 years ago about this guy right here. Um, so far so good. It's been working fine. The way I made this work is phenomenal. So let me get down to explaining. So about 2000, it was like in October 2021, I bought this. It was really recent. There was like about 3 or 4 buyers from AliExpress that you can buy it from at the time. Um, I bought it with thinking that would be a plug and play. Found out it's not because there was no audio. Top screen was doing nothing, and the clock right there, the clock and um, display thing doesn't work either. So nothing was working because there's nothing that can communicate with it. So I tried to figure out about the audio. That's the most important thing that was to me, because the whole point of buying this is so I can, you know, basically like watch YouTube, Netflix, which you can do by using Google, stuff like that. So the way I made this work, oh yeah, and I will get to the AC controls too. So a lot of people ask, how do you make the AC work? Trust me, it's harder than you. It's not hard. It's just extra steps you have to take. So, what I did to start all this is that I end up checking the schematic wiring of the RL for of this model, which is the KB1, which is from 2005 all the way to 2008. It found out that the KB2 is also pretty much the same wiring, except for like one more plug that has to do with the Bluetooth setting. This one has it, but it's different. But this, the point being is that I had to, I look at the schematics and try to get the factory amp to turn on, because it has a CAN bus A and B, which activates the amp. It's not like a remote wire or nothing like that. It's a little bit different. So I then look into. Then I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't figure out why it's like the whole situation was going on. So I was like, okay, cool. All right. So I end up. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This video is a lot of talking. I want to really like put a storyline of how a year of just completely just trying to make this work went down to. So I wired up. I grabbed the schematic for the amp, and there's a connector that goes in where the back wiring of the plug here goes to the amp, and then the amp has another plug that goes to the speakers. So what I did, I bridge without cutting. I bridge the wires from in with the out ones. So basically, audio in to audio out, and just wired up like that, and unplugged it from the amp. So upon doing that, I then bought a aftermarket amp so I can wire up the subwoofer, and then grab one of the wires for the audio, and basically like fed the signal from there. It's been working fine. Haven't had issues. The only thing is that you're using 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the back would be the subwoofer 5, and then 6, 7, which would be the what's the 6, 7? Wait, hold on. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, so 6, 7 because I'm using the back speaker as well, the ones from the back doors. So I'll be using all those just fine. Everything's working, but the only issue I have is that I would love to use the factory amp because I utilize the center speaker, the two tweeters that are in the back, which are next to the subwoofer, and then, obviously the wiring will look a lot cleaner and stuff like that. Less, I guess you would call it ghetto rigging or just making it work, however you want to call that. So, point being, I did that and it works fine. Let me put something on real quick. You see. So. Point being is that's a demo song that comes with the radio. Most people buy these, they're gonna see it. So that everything working fine. Audio 15 is pretty high, 30 is super loud. You know what I mean? That for such a Chinese product, it has a huge kick when it comes to the speakers output. How much is the output? According to the box, it said 250 watts of 4-channel. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, the Chinese pamphlet have little translations problems, and they don't really say accurately what it is. But I would say the audio does seem to be good. I did have to adjust a little bit the equalizer in the settings, but nothing crazy. Just a little bit to your preference, and bam. GPS is good. The mileage is really like 1 mile above or below, depending where you're going. So I would say the mile per hour is accurate. The GPS is very accurate. I use maps. Oh, hold on, where is it? I think I skipped it. Oh, yeah, maps are there. So I use maps. It works fine, phenomenal. But ever since I removed the top screen, I not been using that. I'm using this just completely for audio and watching videos, which is amazing. Especially when you're on your break and you just want to sit back and chill. All right, so for the AC, when I had the KB1, which is the original one from this model, AC control, it sucked. So the way it was is that you press, when you want the AC, you press auto, and then wherever flow of air you get. Also for modes, it will work sometime. Again, this is for the KB1 AC unit control. Oh yeah, and you have to do this, which is flip it down to get cooler air. Now, yes, you see right here, this is not the KB1, this is the KB2. This is from the later model of the RL. This right here is way better, and for the setup that you want, it will help you a lot. So let me explain. So it is a plug and play, no wiring needed, no like finicking wiring, nothing like that. You basically turn it on, turn on the car, it turns on, if you have your setting on or not, and you press, there you go, turns on. Whatever speed you want, turns on. It turns on the AC clutch just automatically as soon as you press this. Obviously, if you go too hot, it will turn off the AC compressor, just like a regular system. Nothing out of the norms. Now, the only thing is that some of you guys might say, well, in the control with the factory radio, in this too, the factory, everything. You press it, you keep it. Let's say you want the cold and medium setting. You turn off the car, you turn it back on. It will be the same way. Yes, you do lose that, I guess, memory control, I guess you could call it. But it's not so much. For me, at least, it's not such much of an inconvenience. I turn on the car. I press this. Ergo turns on. I flip these down. Da, 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 da. And as I flip it down more and more, you can hear the AC, the blower kick higher, which means the vent is opening all the way to cold. And then you control here, too much air, less air, however you want. And then your settings for your, folding, like, top, bottom, middle, everything works just fine. Auto still works the same way. All the heat control works fine. All this works just as it is intended. The only, con, I would say, is that, the whole, you have to basically flip these down to get colder air. And then, obviously, the whole memory thing where it doesn't stay like that when you turn off and turn on the vehicle. Now, other than that, if you have it on and you're driving, it will stay exactly whatever settings you put it on. It won't change. Alright, so that's regarding the AC. Now, for the top screen. The factory top screen will be blank. Or black, or whatever, doing nothing. Literally nothing. What I did is I bought a 7-inch big bezel Android Auto screen. Was worth every money, because to be honest, when I connect my Bluetooth and hotspot, I have this on and I can see the map and how many miles per hour I'm going and everything. And if I look up something on my phone, it automatically shoots there the location that I'm looking into. It works just fine and everything. I can't ask for better. But other than that, it's pretty good. Let me give you a close up. You can see, like, it's perfect. The only issue I can't show you, like, right now, because it's nighttime and my phone is at 10%, so can't really show you a better image of how flawless it looks. It really does. Now, here's another thing. There is a person that I'm trying to get in contact with that's in a one of these groups of Facebook for people that are enthusiasts of the RLs. I'm trying to see because he has the same system as me, and he, from what it seems, he just put it in and it worked. I don't know how. I don't know the full story in the background. That's why I'm trying to get in touch with him to see what's the full story. If it was that he did the same thing I did, or something similar, or it was literally plug and play, as some people are making me think, which I don't think is the case. But I'm gonna ask and figure out if he knows something that I didn't know or I didn't do. I would love to know, because then I can make another video of how to help people get this going in a better way for the audio, because I know that's the biggest issue with these, is when you put it in, there's no audio. And you're like, okay, did I blow a fuse? No, fuse is okay. Is my amp gone? No, amp is working once you put the factory. So you figure out that you might have to do what I did, or go completely off the market with different amps, which would be just fun. It'd be a lot higher quality of audio, but obviously we all trying to have the most minimal installation, of course, because the whole point of putting this on is to have it easy, not go through hoops and jumps and everything to get to this stage. I, for at least, did it for a couple, I'll say, I went turn it off. I did this for a couple like months, try to figure it out because I had no audio, and it's irritating. But at the end, I'm happy with what I have. It's been already about 3 years or so since 2021 that I bought this. So far, so good. Oh, another thing is I've been wondering too, just kind of putting out that there is a slight chance the reason that gentleman's version worked is because he got one when there was now more manufacturer making, seeing what errors have been popping up about them. Because I got one of the first ones that got made. That's what I'm thinking, that because this is 2021 and recently there was only again 3 sellers. Now we have like a bunch of sellers. Amazon is in it, eBay's in it. Like I'm talking about, like there's a bunch of sellers now selling these. They're probably the same sellers, or probably other sellers that are getting into it because they're seeing that now the system is working, and less people are complaining about the issues that this one has, which is the audio. That's the biggest one. Top screen, I feel like that's not something that's gonna be solved because you need the physical button connector to be plugged in, and then use the button, unless they can make it mimic the button by using like a touch setting to go up and down, left and right. That's probably something they can make, but I don't see that being a thing. But kind of like prove me wrong. I mean, if it is, that'd be amazing. And that means I might have to either keep what I have or upgrade this by basically buying the same thing but a newer version of, maybe it's a newer model of it, but it's the same thing, but just with the bugs and errors being fixed. I don't know 100%. But I would say, do you want to buy this? Will I recommend to buy this? It's a very thin line of telling you to buy this. If you do buy it, and let's say it's the same way as mine, just know that you're gonna go through some complicated situations just to get it to work. Once you've done the work and everything's working, like I said, the area working the way it's working, having audio, all of good things. Yes, is also is worth it. If you are the type to like once you just put it and use it, I do not recommend this. This is not for someone that if it's the way that it is, that I don't recommend for someone that is thinking like, oh, I can plug it in and that's it. No, this is not the type to do that. This is the type that you have to figure out how to make it work. Like I said, you can. Here's another option you have. I've been running this by another RL guy. It so far is working out just fine. You could use the amp from 2003 to 2005 Infinity FX35, the SUV. It has the same output for the speakers and about 9 channels. I think no, 10 channels. 10 channel with and one being a subwoofer. So you can use that and make this work with that. And of course you have to wire it in the back where the factory amp is to make it work. But again, it will work, and it will be probably better quality or the same quality as the one I have right now. Alright, hopefully the guy that I'm trying to contact can get to me to see if that story I was saying about the factory setting working with it the factory amp, and hopefully he tells me, oh, that I bought it quite recently and then it worked just fine. Then obviously I would love to try it and see, and then this one, well, I see what I do with it. If that's the case. If that's not the case, then obviously I would keep people posted on the other side of the story of me trying to make an Infinity FX35 amp, which is a Bose amp, working with the RL, which would be a nice feeling to know that that one's working and those all working all in together. Oh yeah, and one last thing. So the clock, yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely, I swear to you, uh, there's nothing you can do about it. There's a plug. I found the wiring and diagram, and the plug is just there's no way to connect it to this. So that's something that you're gonna completely lose. Um, and on that note too, if you're a diehard RL person who like say, okay, I want my factory settings that I have up there that it was working is fine. Here's something you can do. So these Android auto thing, they do have a AV cable that you can plug into. You grab the AV cable, you cut it, and then you wire it to the factory display pinout for display where it shows the image. You can do that. It's not easy as you think it is, but you can do that, and you will have the factory display marking right there. And you might ask, okay, so how do I go scroll through it? Well, like I said, you can technically grab the middle button off the factory radio, make a hole somewhere where you want to do it, anywhere you want, and then basically have like a kind of like in those BMWs, the little knob, and then have the knob to like go forward, backwards, and side to side, and then scroll through the menu. As long as you plug in that cable that goes to the plug, to the button, and it should work just fine, and you should be able to scroll and feel good that you can actually go through the settings and everything that the RL comes with. Have I tested this before? No, I haven't, but I found out that that the screen has like I think it's like 4 or like 2 cables that are for video output and stuff like that, and these have almost the same settings of the I don't know how particularly to call it, but it's a setting to see an image display of that caliber. Yeah, again, I'm sorry for my English. Sometimes I don't know the right words to use, so please keep in mind with that. And that's about it. If you have other questions, you can obviously comment below, and let me know what you want to know. I can answer to my best ability. If you do have one of these and it worked with the factory amp, please let me know what I have missed or anything. I don't know if you see my previous video, I did hire people to help me figure this out with this system, and they were all lost and kept mentioning doing aftermarket stuff, which I end up doing myself because it's not really hard. But the point being is that most of us wants to keep the factory wiring and just plug and play and see if you gotta move one cable, that's one cable, but not to the extent that I went to. But alright guys, hopefully this helped, and hopefully you guys have questions, and if I get information from the other gentleman, I'll let you know and give you a little quick update about that.